What is going on? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today I want to talk to you about Polestar. More specifically, given all the circumstances and the environment that we are in, is it a good buy at these levels? So I'm going to go over some recent stats and some news and some fundamentals and give you my idea if it is a good time to buy or not. But before I get into any of that, making sure you guys hit that thumbs up and subscribe is always greatly appreciated. With that, let's get right to it. So hopefully everyone's having an amazing weekend thus far. Looking at the chart, the annual chart, it is to note that we are below $5. So I'm going to cycle back to that. I already did do a video on this exact same thing, but people need to realize what might be coming for Polestar in the short term. But when it comes to it though, they recently did announce their actual third quarter earnings, and that's going to be held on November the 11th. So that's something you need to factor in. If you do want me to live stream that, definitely hit that thumbs up and subscribe and let me know in the comments below. But they did deliver 9,215 vehicles in Q3, which is pretty good. Their overall number is 30,400. So that's definitely something to keep in mind, but they are reiterating that they want to hit that 50,000. So a little bit ambitious if you ask me. I don't know if they can do that. By them reiterating versus actually cutting at this stage, they're definitely going all in. So if they do miss in Q4, anticipate a lot of volatility. My own 2 cents. I'm not a financial advisor. Do your own due diligence at the end of the day. But regardless, they are definitely doing a lot of good things as far as deliveries. So that's one good takeaway. As far as the Polestar 2, it has and does continue to get a lot of good reviews. And it's in the price point that definitely is going to be very incentivizing for customers to purchase Polestar, even in a higher interest rate environment. So that's something you need to factor in. So I really do like Polestar. It does have a lot of good positives to it. One negative that I do find is just the technology factor is a little bit lacking. So that's obviously my own 2 cents. Recently, I did live stream the GTC 2022 conference, the NVIDIA conference, on which they did give the opportunity for them to kind of talk on exactly what their goals are for autonomous driving, what NVIDIA is going to play in the bigger picture. And unfortunately, I was a little bit more disappointed about this because during this conference, they did not talk on autonomous driving at all whatsoever. So it's fair to say that they are not looking to achieve level 4 or higher. And coming from a EV or an investor standpoint, that's definitely something you do not want to hear. So you always want to hear your EVs reaching for the stars, and that's obviously full autonomous driving and things like that. So let me know your thoughts. That's one of the negatives that took me so long to make a position with Polestar. And so I recently did make a position at $5.22 or 21, whatever it is. And I think I did that mainly because just looking at the price point, clearly there's different avenues on what Polestar can and cannot do. So I'm just going to vaguely touch on that. I just want to mention about Cathie Woods. So Cathie Woods recently said, given the accelerated consumer preference shift towards EVs, used car prices and the residual value of all gas-powered autos are likely to plummet, causing serious losses in the $1 trillion auto debt market. So that is in itself a good thing and a bad thing. Bad thing for the broader market, good thing for EVs and its investors. So especially more so on a pure play that can actually deliver worldwide. So there's only 2 global EV pure plays, and that is Tesla and Polestar. So that's definitely a good thing. And based on the latest CPI data for the September 2022, it goes to show right here, used cars and trucks came in at negative 1.1. So going back to what Cathie said, everything is starting to play out. So I think at the end of the day, there is a huge global demand for EVs, even more so with inflation and all the other fears out there. So it definitely is very advantageous to invest in a company that can actually hit those demands. And a global EV is exactly where it's at, especially if you do have a lower price vehicle, which is that Polestar 2. So again, I think that's a very good thing. They're clearly trying to transition outside of the lower price vehicle into a luxurious brand, and definitely it's going to be a hard transition for them, especially more so from a marketing standpoint. So let me know your thoughts on that. Polestar 3 did come out. Some pros and cons about that is the price point. So investors did not like the price point whatsoever. It is going to be coming out a little bit sooner than a lot of other EVs, especially with the SUV more specifically. So it does look like Q4 2023 is when the Polestar 3 is estimated to have out out and go for deliveries. So let me know your thoughts on that. That definitely can be seen as a very good thing. And going on their investor deck as well right here, as far as production, it goes to show their dependency, if you want to call it that, on Polestar 2. That can be seen as a very good thing. So right now, based on all the price point, a lot of companies and investors are now looking at balance sheets to see what they need to do. And looking at Polestar's actual balance sheet from Q2, they have 1.38 billion in cash equivalent short-term investments, 2.36 million in long-term investments, and 899.67 million in debt. Right now, they're currently burning from operations 601 million. So when it comes to it though, I do see dilution in the short term, whether it be tail end of Q4, early Q1, as far as 2023, they are going to need to dilute. I know that's what a lot of investors do not want to hear, especially with right now, I believe they have 2.11 billion in outstanding shares. That's definitely something that a lot of investors don't want to hear, but they do have to do that, especially if they don't have any sufficient amount of cash. They're going to not be able to do the Polestar 3. So I think that's something you really need to take away. A lot of other EVs as well are going to be needing to dilute in 2023. So it might be the year of dilution, but still, let me know your thoughts on that. I do personally feel there is a lot of good advantages to Polestar, and it is largely linked to that lower price vehicle already technically out. A lot of other EVs are right now trying to really hurry as fast as they can to obtain that lower price vehicle. So Polestar does technically have a very good advantage right now, just their technology is subpar. And I've always really compared Polestar to a lot of other EVs. Technically, as far as a starting point, companies can either do a lot of quantity, just lower quality, which does encompass Polestar, versus a lot of other companies, they do less quantity but more quality. So again, it's one of those things. Let me know your thoughts on that. Polestar, definitely nothing wrong with what they are doing from a marketing standpoint or whatever it might be. And like I said, them transitioning into a luxurious brand, or trying to, is going to be very, very difficult. But clearly, like I always say, I absolutely know nothing. This is just for entertainment purposes in the end, just giving you the facts. But a lot more institutions have been really focusing and looking at Polestar. I know it doesn't seem like much, but this is all the dark pool transactions thus far. So the last ones were on the 12th, 11th, 7th, so they don't buy every single day. But still, I think a lot more importance once they do hit that, or if they ever do hit that 50,000 delivery target by the tail end of the year, you're going to get a lot more institutions looking at Polestar. So that's my own 2 cents clearly as well based on that. And finally, to cap it all off, the technicals. And like I mentioned at the very beginning, we are officially below that $5 mark. And what I meant by that is, and I did do a video on this exact same thing and why investors really need to care, but technically, any stock below $5 is considered a penny stock, which I know doesn't necessarily always make the most sense, but that's just how it is. And there's a lot of stipulation when a lot of investors or institutions invest in companies, they cannot invest in penny stocks. So a company needs to be below $5 for 10 consecutive days. So today, or more so on Friday, the clock officially started. So again, let me know your thoughts on that. But not all institutions will be forced to sell. When a company is considered a penny stock, that does mean that they cannot be held on any margin. So that's something you need to factor in. Look at the institutional ownership to see who is and who isn't possibly owning Polestar on margin. Outside of that, there is some special accounts that cannot hold Polestar. So I think this is where you do get a lot more talk on companies doing reverse stock splits to get and stay well above that $5 mark. So again, that might be coming during the actual Q3 earnings. That definitely could be something that is brought up by an analyst, whether they do intend on doing a reverse stock split or whatever it is. That definitely could be a short-term pain for Polestar in addition to that dilution. So when it comes to it though, the demand is still there for EVs. They do have Polestar 2, which is a very good lower price vehicle. I do feel that given the global infrastructure that Polestar does have, it can do a lot of good things. So it might actually be one of the EVs that is able to flourish during a recession. And I know technically for all legal terminology, we are officially in a recession, but when I talk in recession, it's 2008 or a little bit worse, those kind of scenarios. But Polestar could do a lot of good things. So anything below $5, in my own 2 cents and opinion, is a very, very good buying opportunity. I know we've gone down quite a lot, and based on the price point and kind of the multiple that's placed on Polestar, it is and was relatively high, but anything below $5 is a very, very sweet buying opportunity. Of course, it could go down. Coming from an investor standpoint, is very hard to catch the bottom, but when you invest in any EV, not necessarily just even Polestar, on any other EV, you are investing in the long term. A lot of governments globally are all transitioning to an EV environment, whether it be effective in 2030, 2035, or whatever it might be. Global EVs are going to be a very big thing. So these two pure plays, like I mentioned, as far as Tesla and Polestar, have a very, very good advantage. So when it comes to it, let me know your thoughts on that. Anything below $5 is a very sweet buying opportunity. And even more so, looking at the technicals, things are very, very oversold. So in theory, though, we might have a good value rally. I don't anticipate us staying below $5 for that much longer, but you never know, right? There's a lot of different fear components all coming at us at once. So with that, though, I appreciate you guys watching. Hopefully everyone's having an amazing weekend. Like I said, don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe, as always greatly appreciated. If you do like my channel, want to support the growth, take a look at my memberships, link in the description below, or just hit the join button at the bottom of the screen. With that, I appreciate you guys watching. Let's all make a lot of money on Polestar.